There's been a lot of talk about Caitlin Clark being an amazing shooter and just someone we're watching. Have you spoken to her? Do you know her? What do you think?
I've been watching from afar.
Yeah.
One casual comment under a Steph Curry clip just exposed the ugliest open secret in basketball. And suddenly, Fever fans realized Caitlin Clark isn't just feeling the frustration, she's living it every night.
Austin gets it back to Clark, sidesteps Howard, she will launch and knock down a three.
Makes it look so easy. Range on at least 23-point attempts in five games.
At first glance, Caitlin Clark's comment looked playful, almost harmless. A star athlete joking online, telling the world to stop grabbing Steph Curry and let him rain threes in peace. But beneath that smiley tone was something far sharper. Something Fever fans recognized instantly, because they have been screaming the same thing at their televisions for years. This was not about Steph Curry. Clark's words cracked open a conversation the basketball world keeps trying to politely avoid. The reality that certain players are no longer guarded with schemes, but with hands, forearms, jersey tugs, body checks, and silent permission. The reality that when you become too good, the game quietly stops being about basketball. Caitlin Clark knows that feeling intimately. From the moment she stepped into the WNBA, defenses stopped playing her honestly. Screens turned into wrestling matches. Off-ball movement turned into clutch-and-grab clinics. Simple cuts were punished like crimes. And what makes it worse is not just the physicality, but the way it is normalized, dismissed, and reframed as part of the game.
She plays in her range, and the level of difficulty on her shots is obviously a very close comparison to the way that I play.
I was going to say, Caitlin Clark's been compared to you.
Yeah, but I think it almost...
That is why her Steph Curry comment landed so hard. Because Curry is the blueprint. For more than a decade, Steph Curry has been grabbed, held, bumped, and mauled off the ball in ways that would get lesser players whistles instantly. Entire defensive systems are built not around stopping him with positioning, but exhausting him through contact. Curry acknowledged it openly in his comments, calling it not real basketball, while also admitting that it is oddly flattering. Clark saw herself in that sentence. But here's the difference that makes Fever fans furious. Steph Curry has institutional protection, he has championships, he has veteran leverage, he has referees who, at least occasionally, swallow their pride and blow the whistle when things get egregious enough to become embarrassing. Caitlin Clark does not have that yet, and the league has been painfully slow to adjust. That is the core frustration. When Clark commented, "We want to see Steph make 12 threes, a game stop grabbing him please," she was saying what Indiana fans have been begging for since day one. Let the stars play. Let skill breathe. Let greatness exist without being punished for existing. Because the irony is brutal. The same league that markets Caitlin Clark as must-see television allows her to be turned into a physical target every single night. The same broadcasts that hype her shooting range cut to replays where she is being pulled off screens without consequence. The disconnect is impossible to ignore once you see it.
Clark, pressure all game.
Clark, a problem for Canada there. Agbenle, handoff Clark, launches, and hits a three. We are level.
And Fever fans have seen it all. They have watched Clark get bodied when the ball is nowhere near her. They have watched defenders test how much they can get away with early in games, knowing the tone will be set by what referees tolerate. They have watched her adjust, adapt, and still produce, while absorbing punishment that would derail most players. That is why her Steph Curry comment resonated so deeply, because Curry's frustration is not theoretical, it is lived. And Clark is living the same reality in real time. There is also something else hiding in that comment that people missed. Respect.
It almost robs her of like the rest of her game because she's such a good floor, she has her overall, floor game. She's racking up, close to triple-double.
Curry understands the chess match. He understands how attention creates space. He understands how physical defense is both a complement and a problem. Clark understands that too. But fans are not asking for her to be coddled. They are asking for fairness. They are asking for consistency. They are asking for a league that claims to want growth to stop strangling its own product. And this is where the conversation gets uncomfortable, but before you get too comfortable, it's time to smash that subscribe button and hit like my friend. Because excessive physicality against stars is not just about competition, it is about control, it is about hierarchy. It is about reminding a player that attention does not equal authority, that popularity does not grant immunity, that dominance will be met with resistance that goes beyond X's and O's. Clark's rise disrupted balance. She entered the league with gravity already attached to her name. She brought audiences that the WNBA had chased for decades, and instead of immediately adjusting the officiating standard to protect the product, the league allowed a free-for-all atmosphere to develop around her. That atmosphere did not happen by accident. Players test boundaries, referees set limits. When those limits are not enforced, behavior escalates. Fever fans have watched that escalation happen in slow motion. The grabbing became normal, the bumping became expected, the off-ball fouls became invisible. See, Clark's comment on Curry was a mirror held up to the system, and the reflection was ugly. Because what Curry described as funny at times becomes dangerous when it crosses into accumulation. When stars are hit night after night, season after season, it wears on the body. It wears on creativity. It shortens careers. That is why fans panic every time Clark hits the floor. That is why they flinch when she gets tangled up off screens. And the pattern says this: when a player becomes too influential, the league quietly allows opponents to solve the problem with force instead of finesse. What makes Clark's situation even more explosive is timing. The WNBA is at a crossroads. CBA negotiations are looming. Expansion is happening. Media deals are evolving. The league needs its stars healthy, visible, and thriving. And yet, to the on-court environment suggests the opposite priority. Clark's Curry comment was subtle, but it was strategic. She did not complain directly. She did not accuse referees. She did not name names. She aligned herself with one of the most respected figures in basketball history and echoed his experience. That is a power move. It reframes her frustration as universal, not personal. And fans understood immediately. They are not asking for Clark to be protected because she is Caitlin Clark. They are asking for her to be protected because she is basketball, because watching her get mugged off the ball is not entertaining. It is exhausting. It turns brilliance into survival. There is also an unspoken fear behind all of this. If the league does not adjust, players will adjust their futures. Steph Curry endured because the NBA eventually realized that letting stars get hacked was bad business. Rule emphasis shifted. Officiating evolved. The league adapted. The WNBA is being presented with the same lesson, only faster, louder, and with less margin for error. Clark's comment was not a tantrum. It was a warning wrapped in humor. And the reason it stung is because it came from a place of clarity. She sees the pattern. She sees the parallel. She sees where this road leads if nothing changes. Fever fans are not imagining things. They are not overreacting. They are watching a generational talent be forced to fight through obstacles that have nothing to do with basketball skill. And yet Clark keeps producing. That is the most shocking part of all. Despite the grabbing, despite the physicality, despite the frustration, she continues to impact games at a level few players ever reach, which raises the most dangerous question of all for the league. What happens if she ever gets a fair whistle? What happens when the game actually becomes basketball again? Clark's Curry comment cracked that door open. It turned a light-hearted TikTok reply into a rallying cry for fans who have been watching this unfold for years. It connected her experience to a broader truth about how greatness is treated before it is fully accepted. And it reminded everyone of something essential. Basketball is supposed to reward skill, not punish it. If even Caitlin Clark is saying, "Let them play," how loud does the message have to get before the league listens? And what happens if they don't fix it in time? Let us know your views in the comments below.